my channel S for Shivani. I am Shivani Saxena and in today's video we are going to learn some basic functions which every person ought to know. So if you are let's say going for summer internship, अगर तुमसे कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा, pivot table नहीं बन रही, slicer नहीं बन रहा, but at least तुमको ये basic functions तो आने ही चाहिए. First of all, the data that we have with us is on employees' first name and last name, the city allotted to them, the department they belong to, the basic salary they are earning, incentives achieved, and then total salary, which is sum of basic salary and incentive. Now I want to find the maximum salary a person has earned in this time period. So what do? I press equal, type max function, open the bracket. Since I'm asked the maximum salary, I select the salary, close the bracket, enter. So this is the amount which someone has on the maximum. It is in decimal because a lot of these figures might be in decimals, as you can see here. Now the minimum incentive. So equal minimum, select the incentive column. The lowest incentive is 345, which two people have earned. But wait, every data analysis that you have to do has to begin with data cleansing or data sanitization, as we call. As you can see here, there are certain names which are repeating. So there is 2 times entry for Shivani and other ones, I think it doesn't repeat. First, we have to clean the duplicate values. So how this can be done is, and select the whole data, and now I go to data and remove duplicates. All of this is selected, okay, and now it says one duplicate value found and it has been removed. So now we are sure that we do not have any duplicates in the data that we have. Average salary, to calculate average salary, equal average function, bracket open, select it, press enter. Now the total entries, which means how many people are getting the incentive. So what I can do is use the count function. Let me see what happens if we use count. So when you are using the count function, Excel will automatically remove the values from the blank cells and return the values only from the cells which have some values. For the blank entries, there is another function called count blank. Select the range. So there are 3 blank cells which do not have any incentive. And the median basic salary is, we have the median function for that. Select it, enter. So that means 50% of the employees are earning this much amount of basic salary. Now let me come to a very important function, which is the if function. I had hidden some columns here. To unhide them, right click on unhide, and they are there. So there were some targets that were allotted to these people, and the next column will show the actual target that they have achieved, the actual percentage that they have achieved, and then if the actual achievement is more than the target, then these people will be eligible for a new reward scheme that the company is initiating. So how do we find that? Let's say these people had a target somewhere between 50 and 100. So instead of allotting random values here for the purpose of video, I'm going to tell you a very important formula, which is the random function. So I can use the rand between function, find the function, and you have to type the bottom value, let's say 50, and the top value is, let's say, make it 120. Press enter. And this is what I have got here. Now, unless you are unless you are copying and pasting these values will keep on changing if you do anything on them. So let's say if I'm dragging it again, it will show me a different set of values. I'm dragging it again, another set of values. What we're going to do is freeze these values. And how we can do that? First copy it, Control C, then click on the first cell of that column and go to the clipboard, here paste function, and paste as values. Now if you see here in the formula bar, the formula has disappeared and now what we have is the values only. I can again use function and drag and drop, or like we have studied earlier, undo it, go to one column which is to the left of the cell containing the actual formula, control down arrow key, right arrow key, control shift up arrow key, and control and D. This will duplicate the formulas in all the cells. And now control C and paste as values. The person who is eligible for a new reward scheme is the one whose actual achievement is more than the target that was assigned to him. So let's go for the if function here. Now if you read the prompt that Excel provides, it says first you have to type the logical test. So here I am saying if my actual is greater than the target, then what you have to write is if it is exceeding, what should come in this cell? If it is not exceeding, what should come in the cell? So let's say I want it to be a yes, add a comma, value if false. So I want it to be no. And do not forget to write this in inverted commas because you're using text as indicators. If you're working with numbers, then you don't have to use the inverted commas or quotes. When you're working with text, you have to write that. Now since it is equal, this person is not eligible, drag it down, and I see there are some people who are eligible. Now how to find the number of yes that are there? We use count, and you see there are a lot of options that we have. If we are doing count with if function, then this will help us in finding the number of people who have a yes in the eligibility. So this is my range, add a comma, the criteria is yes. Since again I am writing a text, so I have to use quotes, bracket close. So there are some 10 people who are eligible for the new reward scheme. You can verify it here by using the filter yes, and if you select this, towards the bottom of the screen you can find the count, which is 10. The formula is working fine. Let's say I'm inserting a new column here. I want the name of the departments to be in capital. Use the upper function, open the bracket, select the text, close the bracket, press enter. So all my values are now in caps. Similarly, to make it in small letters, lower, and all the letters will be now in the lowercase. Now let's say if I want to assign a code with, let's say, the first letter of the department. So for example, sales should be denoted by S, marketing with M. So what I can do is use the left function. Now left function says I have to select the text first, which is this, and the number of characters. So from left till whatever I have to select, I have to type the number of characters. So in this, I only want the first alphabet to be there. So I am saying 1. And now, as you can see, this is the code that I have got. Now let's say if you want the first two letters to be included, so what we do is select, type 2, and here is the code that we have. Now sometimes what we have to do is, let's say I want to combine the two first name and the last name as one, which is the name. So the concatenate function comes to our rescue. Use equal. If you type, the pop-up comes, double click, select it, and the cell number 2, and then close the bracket and press this. Now what it has done is, we didn't add any space in the formula. That is why it has merged the two names. Now to add space, what we have to do is, like I've said earlier, since if you're working with anything apart from numbers, you have to use the quotes. So I'm adding a quote, then pressing space, quote, and adding a comma to separate the three things, and then pressing enter. And now it has space. Now I can duplicate the values, and it is done. Now let's say I want to again separate these names into first name and last name. So if you remember, in this function we have added three characters. One was the first name, then there was space, and then there was a last name. So we'll need three columns to separate the entire cell content. Let's insert three columns. Excel has a very interesting function called text to columns. But before using that, we need to make sure that we have removed the formula from these cells, because formula on formula will give you a very absurd kind of result. So let's first remove the formula. I'm copying it, Control C, I'm going to paste and pasting out values. When you paste as values, the formula is gone. Now I select this data, go to Data tab, and click on Text to Column option here. This dialog box comes up. It gives me two options. Either I can go with a delimiter. A delimiter is something which separates two kinds of fields. So let's say in our case it is the space. It is a space button. Or either I can go with fixed width. Fixed width is something which we're going to refer to later in other videos. In this case, it is not applicable. Let's go with delimiter. Here, I am selecting space as a delimiter. You can see a preview of how the data will look like. This is what I want it to look like. Click on next. Now it says where I want the data to be pasted. So click here. I want the data to come in D2 and click on finish. And it's done. So sometimes if, like in this case, we do not have a middle name, if you need the middle name, that is why we had the third column to separate that. But since we do not have any middle name here in this case, it will work fine. Now I can name it first name and the last name. Now whatever formula you are typing in, Excel uses the BODMAS rule to calculate answers. BODMAS stands for the order in which a particular equation will be solved. So first you begin with bracket, then of or order, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Now let me give you an example. If you are typing an equation, let's say equal to 2 plus 3, for multiplication we have asterisk, 6. Press enter. The answer is 20, because Excel by default assumes that it will multiply 3 and 6 first, which will give 18, and then add 2 because addition comes after multiplication, and the answer is 20. But if you were looking to first add, then you have to use brackets here. and bracket means that it is the first thing that will be solved. So it will first add 2 plus 3, which is 5, and then multiply by 6 to give 30 as the answer. Now if I want to see what is the formula that I have used here, I have to select that cell. In the menu, I go to formulas and I click here on show formula, and it will reveal the exact formula that I have put in. I can click on it again and it will go back to the value. Now let's say we have two data sets here, A and B, and these are the figures. I want to do a summation of it. So I do this plus this. There is another way to add these two figures, which is by using the sum function. Type sum, open the bracket. The prompt says number 1, comma, number 2, comma, and then so on. So I click on this cell, put a comma, second cell, and close the bracket. This will give me the answer. There is also one more way in which you use the sum function, open the bracket, and simply drag and drop the entire range that you have selected. Close the bracket, press enter. To subtract, minus, asterisk. To divide, we have oblique. And now to paste the columns to the next cells, we select it using the plus sign towards the bottom right. Just drag it. Now if I reveal the formulas here, what you can see is all these cells take value which is based on the adjacent cell. For example, in row 10, whatever values are of row 10 in the formula D10 and E10. Now suppose if I move to this data set here, these are the total marks and these are 3 people who have scored these marks in a subject. I want to find the percentage these people have scored in these exams. I press equal, select this, divide 300, press enter. Since I have clicked show formulas, I have to click it back. Yes, it gives me the percent. If I drag it down, what is this I am seeing? How can the value be more than 100%? The reason is the relative referencing. So when you are dragging and dropping a formula, it is using the cell reference which is relative to the cells, the value of which you are dropping to. For example, for A, it is dividing 180 by 300, but for B, it is dividing 230 by 180 because we had used G14 in denominator. Everything is added a 1, 2 and it is becoming 14, 15, 16, 13, 14, 15. And this one is 280 divided by 230. But you want to fix 300. How can we do that? So in the first place where we were typing the formula, I click on the denominator and add a dollar sign. I can do this in two ways. Either I type dollar manually or I can press the F4 key. On some laptops it works as Fn key and then pressing the F4 key. If you see, automatically a dollar sign has been added. Press enter, and when I drop it to the other cells, if I see the formula, you can see the denominator has been fixed as 300, and now whatever answer that we have is actually making some sense. This kind of referencing is known as absolute referencing. If you found this video useful, then like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel.